I'm coming. Give me a moment. I should use the longer intro. Give me just a moment. I'll be right with y'all. Good morning, y'all. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. And good morning. Ooh, y'all. Took me a bit of a minute to get myself prepared, get myself situated, but mm, good morning. I'm here. I'll be on in just a moment. Oh boy. I gotta get myself situated. All right. I'm coming. I am coming. Well, I'm gonna do this. Y'all don't know. It's taking me a little longer than normal, but I might talk about that in a members only live. Whew. Oh boy. What is up? What is up, people? What is up? Okay. Here. Oh boy. What is going on, people? Whew. Y'all don't even know. Y'all have no idea. I am here. Excuse me. So, what is up, y'all? I've been off the grid for a week, but I am here. I am back. I'll talk about it in the members only live why I've been off the grid, but I thank y'all for being here. For me, mm, I know people still over there watching Mother and her live, but I just didn't want to keep postponing my live. I tried to give ouch, I tried to give Mother and everybody that was over there a chance to get their life, but after a while I was like, "Child, let me go." All right, so we are here. Let me say good morning to you all. Oh, God damn it, I got to get back up. Oh, I got to start this process all over again. Hold on, y'all. Ooh, hold on, y'all. Okay. Oh, what is going on, everyone? Ooh, boy. All right. So, damn it. Whatever. It's gonna stay. So before I get started, y'all, I want to do let me say hello to everybody. Hey Shakira, IMC Brown, Yana, Boogie L Love, Listasia, Miss Ebby, So Jeff, Nappy Child, Mod Squad is in the building. Um, so I hope she comes in here at some point during this live. So we want to start off with an unboxing. So Tanya LaFleur, who's in the chats all the time. I'm not doxing her. That's her name in the actual chat. Tanya LaFleur, who's a subscriber of mine, and I love her dearly. She was in one of the lives, and she heard me talk about edibles and how I need to try some of these edibles. Oh God, I love anyway. So I've been off the grid, and but anyway, while I was off the grid, she sent me some edibles. She sent me a couple things um, from I'm not sure if it's her company or her friend's company, but she sent me some stuff. I don't even have everything anymore because my damn child, who's a weed head, took some of it. So let me unbox this and show y'all what's left of what she sent me. The first thing I'm going to talk about, she sent me what she sent me one of the punches, one of the drinks that has the ganja in it, and but that's in the refrigerator. I'm letting that get cooled off and stuff. So I might I'm not gonna drink it right now, but I do have she sent me that. I'm not sure what flavor it is. It looks like some kind of something pinkish reddish. So it might have some kind of strawberry or fruit punch in it or something. So I'm gonna take some of that. Um, this is it looks like you know how they have cinnamon toast crunch, but it looks like French toast crunch. Uh, a French toast crunch treat. Um, some cookies, and it has like confetti in it in the cookies. So she sent me some cookies. Um, these some cookies, and then some more cookies that's like pink and stuff. Hey, Mr. Pisces, and this is a brownie that my child devoured a lot of it, but yes, child. And then this looks like what's the cereal? One of those cereals with the balls. Dear God. I forgot the name of the cereal. Y'all will probably tell me. And there was something else that was in here that my child took. I forgot what it was. Hey, little baby. And then there's the drink too. I think it's some kind of punch. So I'm gonna have some of that. Not right now, not on screen, but a little later. So thank you. I'll put some Shondas in the chat for Tanya LaFleur, who sent me this. She also sent me a card from the company. So if y'all want to patronize the company, here's the card. It's called Lazy Boy Snacks. Follow our Instagram page at Lazy Boy Snacks underscore. Looks like no, is that an underscore? Yes, there's an. I'm sure you'll find it. So anyway, so she sent me their card, which is really nice. Snacks, candies, drinks, hot foods, and more. Be lazy. And this is the back of it. It's really nice, really, really cool. With their email address. I hope y'all can see that. That says lazyboysnacks@gmail.com is their email. Their Snapchat is at lazyboysnacks. So she put that in there and she sent me a card. It says, enjoy our snacks and thank you for bringing light and laughter to YouTube. Hashtag be lazy at lazyboysnacks underscore. So there's an underscore there. On the front, it says, kindness is many small gestures that together make all the difference in the world. So I thank her so much for her kindness. I really needed it this week. We'll talk about that in a members only chat. But yeah, Shondos to Tanya, thank you so much. Y'all be really doing stuff and spoiling me, and I don't know. I'm never going to say no because that just would be disrespectful. When people try, my grandmother taught me that. She said, when you're a giver, you have to allow other people to give to you so that they understand, they get the gratification that you get from giving to someone. So certainly, I never want to take that from anybody and not give them the opportunity to give and know what that feels like. Excuse me, y'all, as I'm adjusting. Anyway, so I just wanted to thank Tanya. Hopefully, she usually comes in a little bit after we get started, but hopefully she comes in this morning and I can thank her properly for so I can thank her properly for her gift to me. I didn't ask for it. She just sent me an email and said, how can I send you something? So hopefully y'all go patronize. I think that might be her company or a company she's involved with. So I give you their information. Go patronize them. Nappy Child, when you get a second or two, put their information in the chat. and we'll go from there for those people um who like to you know indulge themselves in those things. All right. Hey, Madam Whip Ass, what's going on, Shondo? To all of the people coming in, y'all notice we have gotten a lot of new subscribers that have started to come into our chats. Many of whom have no idea where Shondo started from, how it got started. I'm going to make I'm going to turn Shondo over to you all as subscribers, and I'm going to say that when somebody new comes in the chat and they want to know what it means, I'm going to defer to you all and let you all do all of that heavy lifting of explaining what Shondo means and all of that stuff. All of the inside jokes, I'm going to leave that up to you all in the chat, and y'all can parcel that out and figure out how we're going to how best to navigate through that. All right. So I really feel like I don't have a lot to talk about this silly Saturday, but whenever I say that, naturally I end up on a 2+ hour live. So I'm not gonna even jinx myself. But thank you, virtual blowjobs and all of that stuff to Tanya LaFleur for her gift to me because I am much appreciative. All right, so I owe y'all a lot because I've been gone for a week, but I'm gonna give y'all what I got. I don't want to rehash a whole lot of stuff, so I'm just gonna give y'all a little bit, and then we'll go from there. So today is July 12th, 2021. It is the 5-year anniversary of the Pulse nightclub massacre. Um, the one even with the sugar. If they don't know about sugar, Yana, that's up. I'll let that for y'all in the chat. That's not those inside jokes that we have. Orange shirt, Shondo, sugar. I leave that to y'all in the chat. Y'all loyal subscribers. I gotta give y'all something. Something gotta be just for y'all. So that is for y'all. That is just for y'all. It's June 12th. Sorry, not July. Um, but that's for y'all. So that's my gift to y'all. Y'all take ownership of the inside jokes, and you all decide how best to explain that out. Hey, it's me, D. Um, how's your Shondo this morning? It's me, D. See, we already going left. Anyway, um, so yeah, that's for y'all in the you know, subscribers. I give that to y'all. All right. So today is the June 12th, 2021 is the 5-year anniversary of the Pulse nightclub. Uh, it took place on June 12th, 2016. Yeah, it's been 5 years already. I remember waking up a friend of mine, I'm not going to mention their name, but a friend of mine was actually at the club and left because he wasn't feeling well. Oh boy, here you go. It's me, D. Anyway, but a friend of mine was at Post nightclub. Hey, Chocolate Day, and left early because he wasn't feeling well. Him and his partner, and he literally said it was maybe about 30 minutes before he left. I mean, after he left, I should say, that it all went down. And he called me once the news started to get out, and he was on the phone with it. He had a very close friend of his who passed, who called him and asked him where he was because the friend was in the bathroom in one of the uh, stalls in the bathroom, hiding with some other people, and they ended up getting shot and killed. And he never he called me in, hysterically crying. Um, I can't. I've been to Post nightclub many times. Post nightclub is one of those places. It's one door in, one door out. A lot of gay clubs are that way. They only give us a small space, and those small spaces that we get, we make the best of it. So it did have a patio, but you couldn't really. I don't think, could you get out on the patio? I know it was one way in, one way out, but I remember the patio too. But you couldn't really exit from the patio unless you jumped over that thing, the little banister or whatever. But anyway, it was 16 years ago. 49 people lost their lives. 50 plus people, I think like 53 or 54 people were injured. Um, there is a memorial there. Like they have this thing that's going around what used to be the club. They're talking about, because there's a hospital not very far from the club, and that is like the hospital is right close to the club, and people were literally bleeding almost to death and carrying other people from the club to the hospital because it was that close. So what they're planning on doing with the memorial is they're going to plant, from what I understand, they're going to plant trees, 49 trees for each person that passed. And they're going to have like hanging from the trees parts of the club and stuff like that, different memorabilia or different parts of the club from the trees. I can't even imagine having been to Pulse nightclub. I can't imagine. I can't even imagine, because if somebody comes in there with that type of purpose, there's not a lot of places you can go. I mean, you can go out to the balcony. I mean, to the patio area. But if you're on the wrong side of the club and he goes to that side, you can't get to the patio. And so that's why you hear people talking about having to run into the bathroom and run into the stall. The stories and accounts are he went into the bathrooms or went into the stall and just reached over the stall and started just gunning people down. And so it was very horrific, very horrific. My heart, you know, it goes. I can't even fathom. Um, but I just want to give a note to um my younger members of the LGBTQIA plus community, as well as people not in the LGBTQIA plus community, allies, friends, families, and so forth. Post nightclub is not an anomaly. Post nightclub is one in many different tragedies and massacres that has happened over decades, that if we took some time, I could go through. I'm not going to do that this morning, but there are many of them that happened that got no notoriety. I think part of it getting the publicity that it did was because we are the information age. That's one, with social media, 24-hour news cycle, and so forth. Two, um, I think they had just passed the Marriage Equality Act. I think a year or two before. What was marriage equality? 2014 to 2015, somewhere around there. It wasn't more than 2 years before that. So there was a lot more. This day and age, there's a lot more acceptance and tolerance than there was years ago, when things like this would happen and nobody would blink an eye. There would be no news story about it. It wouldn't even make the back page of a newspaper. And so when you hear people talk about, and just so you know, my annual Pride Month video is coming. Still working and editing on it. It should be out next week. Next week, it should be out, but I'm working on it. It's coming. My Pride Month video is coming. Don't worry. But I just wanted to take a moment to remember that massacre. Talk about some of the horrible politicians that came out right afterwards and talked about how they were here for it, and how, oh, they were going to do so much to support the community. Um, Senator Marco Rubio, and at that time, Governor Rick Scott, who's now Senator Rick Scott, talked about how they were going to do so much for the LGBTQIA plus community. And now is reneging on that. And you got the governor of Florida, signing bills against, trans students in schools. It's just a mess. But that was it's been 5 years. I have seen the memorials that they have now. And like I said, it's nice, but they have a lot more that they're gonna do. Um like I said, with those trees lining the path from the club, from what was the club to the hospital, um, and so forth. So, if you ever go to Orlando and get a chance, go by and see that. Um, they did. The United States Senate at the time did make it a national memorial. The Post nightclub. So, just wanted to take a few moments to commemorate the memory of that. It was certainly a tragedy within the community, but one of many. And I hope Val Demings does snatch it from him as well. That's one more good Delta girl right there, Val Demings. And and she's also a fellow alumnus of the Florida State University, as am I. So she wears the garnet and the gold very proudly over there. So um, so yes, post nightclub. Definitely want to talk about that. With it being Pride Month, like I said, my Pride Month video is coming out. Don't worry, it will be out. And I always have to bring out people who you haven't heard of. Of course, I'm gonna keep it black. Sorry, not sorry, but I'm gonna keep it black. Sorry, not sorry. Anyway, so yes, take a moment today. Remember those who passed. If you are LGBTQIA plus, you probably are 2 degrees of separation from somebody that probably was involved in that. Y'all know how we do in the community. You 1 to 2 degrees of separation from anything or anybody. So, um, yeah. And now that you know me, and I'm, 1 degree of separation from somebody who was actually there. Uh, there you go. you know. So shouts out to those the victims, the families, and so forth, and not just the victims, but the families, because these people did have families, and not all families hated their LGBTQIA plus family members. Not all family members hate them. There are family members who do love them. May really be, and so forth. So hey, Amber. All right. So that's our first story of the day. Wanted to do that first. All right, so gonna get a little lighter. Hey, Abby. I know y'all was probably, I don't know if Mother's still on, but I know y'all probably had mod squad duties over there as the Supremes over there. So Scottie Pippen, Scottie Pippen. Uh, if you play what was that game? The first basketball game on Nintendo. God, I can't, it wasn't 2K. It was, oh God, I can't remember the name of it. Anyway, when you pick Scottie Pippen, he would come out, they would say Scottie Pippen, Scottie Pippen. Anyway, um, Scottie Pippen has come right out and said Michael Jordan would have no rings without him. I'm looking for somebody to convince me of where's the lie. There's no lie. There's nothing unfactual about it. Scottie Pippen goes to another team and is the number one player on that team is the alpha dog. Michael Jordan, prior to Scottie Pippen, was putting up numbers. Remember, he made the playoffs, got the 63 points and stuff like that, and then got trounced and dish ragged and booted out of the playoffs real quick. No man is an island. Nobody can do it by themselves. And if Michael Jordan never has a Scottie Pippen, he's never winning a ring. Scottie Pippen didn't lie. I'll wait for one of y'all to convince me that Scottie Pippen lied. because Scottie Pippen told no lies. None at all. Now, if you were around, some people were not around, so you can only go off the stories. And you know Michael Jordan of legend. And I'm not diminishing Michael Jordan and his greatness because Michael Jordan certainly is probably the greatest player of all time, according to some people. So, but it wasn't until Scottie Pippen came that they started, checking off championships. And I'm just being honest. And that was before Dennis Rodman got there. That was before a whole lot of people got there. But those first three, that's all Michael Jordan, but that's all Scottie Pippen too. So he needed Scottie Pippen. Rodman didn't come till that's the second three. Remember, during the first three championships, Rodman was still over there, I think, with the Pistons. Now, we know Scottie Pippen has been in the news more so lately because um his skank his wife, ex-wife, whatever she is, concubine, Larsa Pippen is sleeping with any and everything across the fruited plains. Man, woman, chinchilla, bear, cat, dog, sloth, whale, wildebeest. You have a sex organ, she will sleep with you. I'm just saying. She's slept with the entire cast of The Lion King. She's slept with the entire cast of The Little Mermaid. She has slept with um, every AAU team in America. I mean, she's here for all of it. So I don't. Well, I'll say like this: if Allen Iverson had a Scottie Pippen, he would have a ring. Would he have multiple rings? I can't say that. I don't know. That I don't know. I do believe he would have a ring. Certainly, I believe he would have a ring. Would he have multiple? Mm, that's hard to say because you got to remember, Allen Iverson's heyday was during the time of the Lakers and their three-peat and stuff like that. When Scottie Pippen was actually with the Portland Trailblazers, and really Scottie Pippen and the Portland Trailblazers back when it was Arvydas Sabonis, whose son is in the NBA now, and they had Scottie Pippen on that team. I never forget. I think it was that first ring. It was either the first ring or the second ring that the Lakers got. I remember it was Game 6. The uh, the Trailblazers were up 3-2. It is the end of the third quarter, and the Lakers are at home losing by 23 points at the end of the third quarter. And in the fourth quarter, the referees took control of that game and had, I think the Lakers had somewhere around 30 free throws, just the fourth quarter alone. Said, no, we're not going to do that. Hey, Miss Trisha. Hey, Tracy. Um, Same thing happened to Scottie Pippen. If you remember that year that Jordan was retired and played baseball, and Scottie Pippen made it to um, what was that? The Eastern Conference Finals when he got robbed, and they gave it to the New York Knicks that year. Those were the 2 years Elijah and them won when Jordan was retired. And I remember Scottie Pippen led the Bulls right on down. They were supposed to win that game. And I remember the referees did the same thing. They robbed Scottie Pippen again back then. I never forget that game. Because Starks was on the Knicks then. It was, yeah. It child. Post Scottie Pippen. I mean, he got 6 rings, but he should have. Anyway, but child. His wife got more, child. She don't got more rings, but she got more bodies, child. Child. Aren't they still married? I don't know, child. Well, used to be, child. I don't know. I don't know. That ain't my business. Our next story. When I tell you those refs would throw the game, yes, in favor of the Lakers. That was the Lakers with Kobe and Shaq. A mess. A mess. a mess. Um, so I have to bring your attention to, if you are old enough to remember, there was a movie back in the 80s called The Burning Bed with Mary Baxter Burney. Um, where this woman had been a victim of domestic abuse and domestic violence, and she got so fed up one night, she, put gasoline around the bed, set there and set her husband on fire, burned the whole house down. Um, and the name of the movie is The Burning Bed. So we have a 2021 remake. Um, Was that the Sacramento Kings and not the Portland Trailblazers with Scottie Pippen and Arvidas Sabonis? I thought that was the Portland Trailblazers. I'm pretty sure it was the Portland Trailblazers with Scottie Pippen and Arvidas Sabonis in there. There's so many. That's at least 20 years ago now. Oh, that was Farrah Fawcett. Well, I thought that was Mary Baxter Bird. Anyway, it might have been Farrah Fawcett. You probably right. Happy child. But anyway, child. Um, they got a remake coming out. Well, already happened. And it used to come on Lifetime. I remember it came out way back in the 80s. Like I was a little boy when the Burning Bed came out. It was Farrah Fawcett, okay, but I know really B would know because she was like in college when that movie came out back in the mid 80s or whatever. I was like just a tiny little boy, just tiny twinkling in my parents' eyes. Anyway, um, so we had kind of a remake. I knew really B was gonna come back with something like that. We had kind of a remake of this movie in 2021. The Burning Bed is a movie. It's an old movie from back in the 80s. It's me. A woman by the name of Tahansti Marie Smith, age 29. You know when they put your first, middle, and last name and your age on there, it's never gonna go well. Let me spell that first name for you. Tuhonsty. Now, I don't know. I thought it was to honesty, but ain't no E in there. It's Tahonsty, Tuonsty, Tonsty. I don't know what that is. Tuhonsty is how you spell her first name. T Marie, we're going to call her T Marie Smith, okay? Because I can't pronounce that first name. Who's 29. She suspected that her husband, Henry Williams, was poisoning her chicken wings and waited until 4 o'clock in the morning uh, the next day to fill up a cup full of lighter fluid, pour it on his head, and then light a match and throw it on him. He ain't died, but as a result, he suffered damaging burn wounds to his chest, head, ears, hands, neck, and face. He told authorities that his wife had been acting strangely for the past 3 or 4 months and noticed she was taking more of her medication than was prescribed. On the night of the incident, he claimed Smith was pacing around the house without speaking to him. The couple later got into an argument, which ended in him telling her he wanted a divorce and his plans on moving out. Smith reportedly admitted to setting her husband on fire, but claims she wasn't trying to kill him. She also claims to have mental health issues and took prescription medications around 2 a.m. on the night of the incident. She has been charged with arson of a building, first degree recklessly endangering safety and mayhem, domestic abuse assessments, and was ordered to undergo a competency evaluation. So, Mama thought them wangs tasted funny. Shout out to the 27 in the chat, my favorite ever. And Mama said, wait a minute. girl, bitch, what you putting on these wings? Cause last time I checked, this ain't normally how these wings taste. Child, it gives a whole new meaning to when Karen White said, now you say the juice is sour. It used to be so sweet. Now you say these wings don't taste that good. They used to be so good. Mama said, wait a minute. Wait a goddamn minute. What you did to these motherfucking wings? The wings, honey, it's the wings, y'all. She said these wings taste funny. Baby, they got an argument. He said, I'm leaving. I'm gone. She said, okay. hmm She stopped talking to old boy, waited till he went to sleep, poured that lighter fluid in the cup. So if she got lighter fluid, she probably used the kind that you put on the charcoal where you got the squeeze. So imagine her face and how she acted that out, okay? When she got this cup, say this the cup. She got the little squeezy thing. You know how you squeeze the lighter fluid. She got the little cups here. She looked like this. Because she was mouthing some shit and saying some shit in her head because she didn't want to wake him up. She wanted to keep him asleep. So she over there pouring this shit in the cup like, because she got to put a little extra on that. You got to put some extra on that, put some extra stank. Mama went in that good room, looked, creaked the door open real slowly. Oh, that bitch sleep for real, for real. Okay, it's 4 in the morning. Yeah, that bitch sleep. Said, yeah. Poured that thing on him. Now, most people, when you pour a liquid on most people, it wakes them up. So I wonder if dude woke up right before the match was lit and threw on him, or if he slept and then woke up by the flames. Because when you pour, you know, it's not through a piece of charcoal in for good measure. When you pour liquid on somebody and they sleep, they usually will wake up. But if they ain't wake him up, them flames showed it. Mm. Anyway, Mama said she saw the movie and she was inspired and triggered. She decided to make her own remake of The Burning Bed. I'd love to see this in the movies. I'd love to see um, one of those good Von Howard, Martin Scorsese, my boy who did Black Panther, Kruger or whatever. Well, I can't think of this black man name. One of them great directors. Re- we can have a whole y'all remaking everything anyway. Might as well go ahead and remake the Burning Bed. We got a whole um we got a real story, for it to go off. But I'm just saying. But it's something about them wings, y'all. Listen, men, if you are cooking for your wife, please don't change the wing recipe, okay? Don't try to say, oh, I found a new recipe. Let me add some extra stank on it. Because she gonna add some extra stank on that lighter fluid that she pour on your ass, okay? Please, y'all. Please. Please don't Ryan Krugler, thank you. Uh Volvo. Please don't put no extra stank, don't add no extra seasoning. Don't go to the store, don't go to Publix or uh, Kroger or the AMP or wherever you go to shop at Winn Dixie and say, "Oh, I like that seasoning. Let me try that." Girl, you might end up burned. You might end up in the remake of The Burning Bed, child. Please, I'm just saying. I'm just saying, child. So there's a whole news story about it. I'm going to not play it because YouTube has been hating on me lately. They have unmonetized over the last like 2 or 3 weeks, they send these random emails about random videos that they say, "Oh, we're not monetizing that. Oh, we're not monetizing that. Oh, you're gonna get a copyright claim for this. We're not monetizing that. Oh no, we're gonna do that." I'm like, really, really. So I ain't gonna even give them the ammunition. No, no, not doing this with y'all today, YouTube. Not doing this with y'all today. Child. Right, Ella, we usually don't do the remakes, but child, I can see this remake. There's a couple people out there who probably got some lighter fluid that they want to make use of. Child. Now you say the juice is sour. It used to be so sweet. Now you say the wings taste different. They used to taste so good. Mm. What am I eating on? Okay, so if you don't live in the state with Publix, I apologize now. Okay, so I went to Publix. Don't you say nothing really big, and they had these cookies there, and so the lady at the bakery was like, "Oh, we got these cookies. I think you'll like them." And so they're called. Let me show y'all what it's called. It's called um, Calypso Crunch Bites or whatever. Yes, I paid $4.59 for this little box. Don't judge me, but they have like coconut and pecan in them, and it's it's heaven on earth. Listen, heaven on earth. If it costs $10, I probably would still buy it because it's that good. It is that good. Like I want to know what person came up with this crack. It's like crack. I know Ebby have Publix there. Ebby, go to Publix. I know little baby have Publix too. And y'all go to Publix, ask for the Calypso Crunch bites. They're soft and good, but it has like coconut with pecans in it. With I guess they put a little flour and stuff like that. Let me see what it says, or I cut off the ingredients. They got flour, pecans, brown sugar, child, all of the good stuff in there. Mm. Oh, you already have some, little baby? Listen. So you know, listen, that right there ain't nothing but the devil. That's the devil. That's the devil. That's not a God. That right there cannot be a God. Hey, watermelon sugar. And so, because we love that so much, we're gonna have us a whole um sugar spike break. Sugar spike break. Just gonna have a whole sugar spike break. Cause it's the sugar. It's the sugar. The sugar, y'all. It's the sugar. Ooh, child. Child. Anyway, back to our regularly scheduled programming. So, hey, Quintessential. Child, we got whole sugar spikes going on, y'all. Anyway, it's that sugar, y'all. That sugar. So, there's an old song called Pennies from Heaven. Old song. Y'all remember that old song. If you're old enough to remember, there's an old song called Pennies from Heaven. I don't know the whole chorus, but I remember that's how it goes. Anyway, so um hold on, because I see some of y'all still in the chat having sugar spikes. So since y'all still having sugar spikes in the chat, there you go. You have a whole sugar high. You have a whole sugar high over here. There you go. In the chat. 'Cause y'all have a whole sugar highs and sugar spikes over there. Right. Y'all know I just did this so I can take another cook. I eat another cookie because I'm bad. I'm just saying. All right. Are we down off our sugar high yet? Hmm? We done? I'm just trying to make sure. Y'all okay over there? All right. I'm just checking. All right. So, pennies from heaven. Hey, Lastasi, I don't even think I said hi to you when you came in. So, um, we talk about pour some sugar on me. That goes back to I think that's the 80s. Hmm? Pour with the lady all over the hood of that car in the video. Child. So as we travel down uh, the road to Petty Land, there's a gentleman who got upset, got angered in his spirit. His spirit man was angered, okay? And when he got to his last payment of child support, which was $800 a month, he went and rented out a trailer, like a dump truck type trailer thing. It had 80,000 worth of pennies poured on his baby mama's lawn. I'm gonna say that again. 80,000 pennies poured on this woman's lawn from a trailer because he said this is the last one and I'm not here for this. So I don't know the whole situation between the two. I don't know if he was a deadbeat dad and never paid child support or I don't know what the situation was. I don't know if she always had to beg. I don't know. I don't know if he paid it always on time and she still bothered. I don't know what they had going on. But what I do know is Bra said, "Oh, this the last one? Mm-hmm. Go ahead and get some of this shit. Get some of this because she 18 now. Girl, this the last good payment. You finna get all of it. Count every penny, honey. Make sure it's all there." Um, Now, the mama and the daughter ended up donating the 8,000 pennies to a domestic abuse charity, um, or whatever, because they wanted to get them some TV time or whatever. Baby, I think there's more to the story because for you to go out of your way to be super petty like that, I'm saying, and listen, child, I don't know where he got all them pennies from, but baby, he was there for it. Now I know you can go to the bank and they will give you, if you get them a $50 bill, they'll give you a box of because a roll of pennies is I think 50 cents. So they give you like a box that has like 50. I mean, has like 10 rolls in there, which would be no, it probably had like 100 rolls in there, I should say. And so, because I know you can get a box of, because my aunt, when she had her store, she used to go to the store, I mean, go to the bank and get like rolls of coins. And I vividly remember the pennies one being $50. So I'm sure you can go to the bank and ask them to give you that, and they'll give you that kind of change. What you need it for? Oh, we doing like a little, community service fundraiser thing with pennies, and we just gonna need a lot of it. Okay, here you go, baby. He had done planned that out. Listen, he was waiting, and that's why I say there's more to this story. Y'all hold on. All right, but anyway, he had done saved this. He was listen. Something happened. They had done did something to that man, said something to that man somewhere during this process. He had done got angry. This sounds more like something jilted ex-wife or baby mama would do. Who got time? But when you got a dude that does something like this, mm-mm. He done been pushed to a point where he's at the point of no return. Mm-mm, mm. I mean, how do you? So now you got to get down on your hands and knees trying to get all these pennies up. Because even if you take like a shovel and try to shovel it into like some pots or something like that, I mean not pots, buckets or something, it's still gonna be the residual little ones that not little ones, but the ones that's laid around in the grass and all of that stuff. And now you got to bend down and get up. Child, a mess. A whole mess. I just want to know the level of petty that this man conjured. I mean, you had to go and conjure up a level of petty. And this is a level of petty stemming from extreme anger. This is anger. So, hmm, I wonder. I really do. Why are these people keep getting these stupid text messages? I hope she had just cut her grass too, because if she didn't cut her grass and her grass was the little, the grass, oh, that would have been real petty. If he would have waited till right before it was, see, my level of petty would have been contacting the landscaper and saying, "Yeah, y'all going by her house? What time y'all usually make about her house?" And knowing that, okay, yeah, we usually get around there about 2 o'clock in the afternoon, by 12 noon. All right, and you can roll up there by 11 o'clock in the morning and put all that shit out there just before the landscapers come, because they always come a little bit early. Always come a little bit early. So now you got the landscapers come out there and look at that shit, because it's gonna take you a while. 80,000 pennies, you ain't getting no 80,000 pennies up that fast. And then for you to have, and then you're gonna have to take painstaking, you know, detail into picking up each and every penny. Because what's gonna happen if you get caught in the lawnmower? That shit gonna shoot out of the lawnmower, and that shit might hit your window and break your window. Hey, Monk Chip, I'm just saying. That's a level of petty that I'm here for. Bitch, you want these $800? Here you go. 80,000 pennies. Get some. So anyway, that is my level of petty. I love it. I'm here for it. Still, child. This, like I said, this sounds like a story that you would think would come from a jilted ex-wife, ex-girlfriend, a woman, somebody with XX chromosomes. But no, this was a man who did it. Like I said, when a man gets to that level of petty, something to happen. He is the reason for the coin shortage. Woo. We do our first cuts, and I have to pick up those acorns from the tree. Oh, so you work in landscaping? Okay. I roll up and see a yard of pennies. You get right. That's what I'm saying. That's why you wait till right before the landscapers come, because baby, they gonna look at your yard like, no, we ain't doing that. Y'all call us when y'all get the hand, because you ain't gonna fuck up all our lawnmowers and shit. No, we ain't gonna let you fuck us up. No God. when you playing this game, child. The lawn people wrote by there, saw this mountain of pennies. Child, they won't be needing us for a while. We'll see you next week, honey. We'll see you next week. So, I'm sure y'all have seen this story. There's an elder, well, I don't want to call her elderly. There's an older woman, a woman of a certain age. The woman looks to be in her at least late 60s to 70s, at least. At a baseball game, minding her own goddamn business, not being a fuck bothered, minding her own goddamn business. Okay. Why some nosy ass person behind her is all up in her phone? Don't you hate when people be all up in your phone? You over here minding your business. That's why you got to get one of them screens where people by you and beside you can't be looking at your phone. Anyway, somebody behind her was looking at her phone, took a screenshot or took a picture of the woman's phone. Apparently, the woman had to put in a message to her boo thing saying, I'm gonna take these good dentures out when I suck your dick later. And told the man, get ready because she gonna take them dentures out before she go down on him. Now let me say this. I'm gonna forego giving you the horrific mental pictures that you will get when you think of this elderly woman taking out her dentures and giving some sloppy toppy to her little 75-year-old boo thing who's all jacked up on Cialis, Levitra, and um Viagra all at the same time. I'm going for go because I don't want you to have those mental pictures of her gumming him up, the saliva rolling off her gums and all of that stuff. And she's going to town, up and down, round and round. I'm gonna forgo because I don't want y'all to have those horrible mental pictures. Mm-mm, mm-mm. Gray pubic hair and all. Okay, we're not gonna do that. I want to highlight nosy Nancy behind her, whole stinking ass, is over here taking pictures of my goddamn screen. First of all, they ain't got that advanced yet. When you take a picture, it still makes a little noise. Doesn't the phone still make the noise when you take a picture? And at the moment that I see you taking a picture and you behind me, girl, I'm like, excuse me, what are you taking a picture of? Because I ain't give you authorization. If I'm anywhere in that picture or anything of mine is in that picture, girl, you need to erase it now. I don't play with people in pictures and stuff. Like when I see people get ready to say, oh, excuse me, let me move. Mm-mm. I don't want no parts of your pictures. Mm-mm. Mm. There was this man with no teeth on X2 who used to get all the child. I bet he did. I remember seeing a couple of those videos. So Jeff, she should have put up a video of that Velveteen Rope for no teeth. Oh dear God. Nope, if the phone is on mute, there's no noise. Oh, okay. See, that's the dangerous part. See, now people violating this. That's why you got to get one of those screens where the only way you can see the screen is if you're right up on it and right in front of it. People around you can't see your screen because it's nosy ass people. Bitch, you don't need to see what I got going on because 85%, I ain't gonna say 90%, but 85% of the time that I'm looking at my phone, it's probably something pornographic. I'm not gonna lie. Somebody might have sent me a dick pic, an ass pic. I might be looking at some on my Twitter. It's probably something pornographic. And if you look, you deserve exactly what you get. Get some of it. Get some of it. Oh. See, that's the scary part. I'm like, bitch, don't be taking pictures of me. Shit. I got friends who do that. Like, they don't take pictures of people's phones, but if they see a cute boy, they'll take a picture of him. Or if they see a cute print, walking in the mall or walking down somewhere, they be like, bitch. check your phone. I just sent you a picture of this print I saw at the mall, bitch. I be like, I don't do that because I just don't have the. I don't know. I be scared. I be like, somebody gonna be like, "What you take a picture of?" But they manage it all the time. I don't know. Child. But I need nosy Nancy to leave grandma alone. Let grandma get hers. Grandma need to get bust down too. Grandma done raised kids and probably raised grandkids. And now she's on the decline. She has more years behind her than she got in front of her. Baby grandma said, baby, I'm gonna get mine these last couple years. I ain't gonna let you stop me. I'm getting my bust down. Child. I don't like it either, so I ain't gonna lie and say I don't look at it when they send it, because I sure do look at it when they send it. But I always tell them, y'all shouldn't be doing that to people. Child. Let grandma get some of hers. This is why STDs are high in the nursing home. Child. Let me find out they're giving out, penicillin shots in the nursing home because the clap and gonorrhea and syphilis is running rampant. Child. You talk about the clapper. It ain't the clapper that the lights go on and off. It's the clap, honey. Clap on, clap off, clap on, clap off. The clapper. Child, y'all remember Mama Girl from Greenleaf, honey, who had the clap. Go check out that review. Ooh, child. Let me find out they got the clap running rampant through the convalescent home. You gotta be of a certain age to call it the convalescent home. When I was a little boy back in the day, back in the 80s, and we used to go to church, we used to have like we had the prison ministry, we used to have the homeless ministry. We would just go out underneath the highway overpass and give out food to the homeless and stuff like that. And we also had the convalescent home ministry where you would go to the convalescent home. And that was like the nursing home where the people were sick and infirmed. And so they don't call it the convalescent home no more. They call it, the nursing home or hospice or whatever they call it now. They ain't call it the convalescent home no more. Their whole Twitters and Instagrams dedicated to that. I don't know how they get away with it. The spying mess is creeping up. They do, or have you seen the one social Jeff where they be spying on people above the or underneath the stalls in the men's bathrooms and stuff? And some of them you see they be done got caught. And I wonder if they get their ass whooped. Like, how do you get out of that situation? I mean, it might take a little bit of time for the dude to pull up his pants or whatever and try and run after you and all of that stuff, so they get a little head start. But there's whole channels and stuff dedicated to it. Had a little phone and they be recording, like, dude, like, listen, it goes down in men's bathroom in the stalls. There's more jacking off that goes on in the stall than shit that goes in the stall in the men's bathroom. Let's be clear. Most of the time, men ain't going in there. The shit they going in the stall. They going in there to rub one out real fast, squeeze one out real fast, keep their day moving, honey. So what will happen is you'll have these perverts that will like take their cell phone and reach over the stall because the person's probably looking down at their cell phone or whatever, or whatever device they're using to look at their porn, or even or might be looking down at their junk while they doing what they do. And so they'll reach over and start recording it and put it on Al Gore's good internet. Child, and they don't blur out the face either. They have face and all on that. Child, I'd be like, oh, it'd be scary. Mm, child, these things happen, but yes, we got sexting and jail talk going on. Grandma had to go get her piece. She told her little boo thing, hey boo, I'll be over later, baby. These dishes are coming out, Annie. These dishes are coming out, Annie. And we are gonna have us a good time. Girl, girl. So, child, it'd be a whole mess. So, Jeff. So, our last part of the day is going to be fun. This is Black Music Month, in addition to it being Pride Month. Hey, Lock Queen. And so, I saw that for Black Music Month, my girl and your girl. Who's my girl and your girl? Carrie Champion, of course. I love Carrie Champion. Y'all know her and Jamel Hill have a podcast. But anyway, um, Carrie Champion. Okay, really, B, I got you. I need to. I do need to. Um, Carrie Champion is releasing I think it's a 5-part um playlist that's called A Life in Tracks, where she is on Spotify, where she's going to release um music that is like a soundtrack for her life during a certain decade. Um and so I I'm going to try to do this. I would like for you to do it with me. Here's the rules. Now, we're not saying that these are your favorite songs. We're not even calling these the best songs or your favorite songs. But these are songs that during that decade, you could easily say, I remember that song. That song got heavy rotation. Maybe your mom played it. Maybe your roommate played it. Maybe your sister, cousin, grandma, aunt. You heard it at church all the time. You heard it on the school bus every day. Your friend used to play it all the time when y'all was on your way to school or whatever. Just a song that um it just permeates that part of that decade for you. Now, because I was born in 19, I had part of my childhood in the 80s. That's the earliest decade that I'm going to be able to remember. And so I'm going to do today is the 80s. Let me tell y'all something. Only 10 songs, no honorable mentions. This was the hardest 10 songs. And I had to take my brain, I had to take myself out of it. I had to say it's not about what was my favorite song, what was the best song. It's what songs when I rewind back to my childhood, I heard these songs over and over and it reminds me of a house or this or that or certain things that happened at that time. So um because it's Black Music Month, it has to be black. So that helped me narrow it down because I was listening to a whole lot of white music during the 1980s. Okay. So um it has to be black because this is Black History Month. Anyway, I got like 35 text messages coming through y'all. Um, so I'm gonna give y'all my 10. I will give you explanations of why these 10 um are the ones. So the first one is they're in no particular order, they're just 10 and they're not even in chronological order. I just vividly remember um these songs always being played. Just oh god, different reasons. All right, so um my first one is You Give Good Love by Whitney Houston. And the reason I chose this Whitney Houston song was I first fell in love with Whitney Houston from the first three notes of How Will I Know? There's a Boy. When she sang There's a Boy, I knew, I said, what the fuck is that? But I come from a family of singers, right? And coming from a family of singers, like you can ask Jay Wilson because Jay Wilson knows my family. My family sings. Okay, they sang on albums and all. So for them, you got to be done did some stuff. And you got to do some riff, some run on that song that's gonna make you say, "Oh, bitch, you for real." So, and you give Good Love in the middle of it. Um, after the second verse, when they get to the chorus the second time, At the end of that chorus, with right before the bridge, Whitney Houston, when she says too much and holds this long note with this run that she be like, girl, you did that run. Girl, you said. And I remember my aunt used to play that run over and over. I grew up with my youngest two aunts in the household with me. Um, when I was growing up, and she used to rewind that run over and over and over to hit every note of that run. And I just remember it vividly, but every morning when she was getting ready for high school, doing her little bangs or doing her little makeup or whatever she had to do for high school, she'd be playing that too much, all that stuff. Anyway, in the middle of the it's right before the bridge, end of the second time she sings the chorus, long ass run. And so it just reminds me of being a little boy getting ready, because she used to have to drop me to elementary school um sometimes before she went to school. And so I remember getting ready for school and hearing my aunt over and over and over see this stupid run from Whitney Houston. You give good love. So that reminds me of and it takes me back to the 80s. Um, I remember my aunt. My next song is "Be Grateful" by the Hawkins family, and the Hawkins singers, Walter Hawkins, the Hawkins family, the singers, whatever. Be grateful. Listen, "Be Grateful," which came out in the 80s. I just remember that song. She used to sing that song, and every time she would say, she would start crying. She would just start. She would always start. Um, she would just start crying because she said the words to that song, "Be grateful." Like the chord, the verses to "Be Grateful" talks about suffering, and God has not promised you it was going to be all sunshine and all of this stuff. Um, and but her part where she would always start crying is when um it was Lynette. It wasn't Tremaine who sang "Be Grateful." It was Lynette Hawkins, and she would say on the part where she says every pain that you feel, he feels them just like you, and she would just break out to bust out crying. Um, and then it goes on to say, but he cares too much to let you feel only good. She would just break out crying, and I just always remember, and I would think to myself as a little boy, like even then, as a little boy, I would think, God, what do you have to have gone through in order for that song to resonate so much with you that when you hear that in a song and because I was like, she had to have endured pain. Now I later found, well, I don't get my family history, but there was a reason for it. I did a whole drama out of it. Um, so let me see what y'all saying in the comments. Because she talked about how she was in the studio going off and he told her to start playing with it halfway through recording. And she said oh, okay. So that's the second one, "Be Grateful." That I love the song to this day, even. But I just remember it makes me think about my aunt and that aunt and some of my other aunts, and they experienced a lot during the 80s. There was a lot going on in Black families during the 80s, especially in mine. I have heard Lettucey sing "Be Grateful," and she's great at it. I did not appreciate who was that, Leandria, who sang it and needed the words. I don't have no respect for you as a singer if you need words. No respect, um, but I have heard Lettucey sing it. Um, my next one is like I said, these are not the best songs of the 80s. These aren't the greatest hits. These aren't even my favorite. Some of them I do like. Most of them I do like. I think all of them I like to a certain degree, but these ain't my favorites, but it's good songs for me. "On My Own" by Patti LaBelle. Now, let's be clear. Patti LaBelle had some chart-topping hits during the 80s, but it was something different about that Patti LaBelle and Michael McDonald duet on my own. I just remember being a little boy because it had so much crossover because Michael McDonald, who's white, Patti LaBelle singing with him, and it got her a lot. So you would hear, I would often hear that Patti LaBelle song on some of the white stations where I listened to white music. And you would hear it on the black stations and the white stations back then. And I just remember when that song came out, I just heard it everywhere. I liked the song myself. Um, I'm a huge Michael McDonald fan and you know, stratospheric Patty fan. I mean, that's Patty. Um, well, it's something about that song takes me back to my child. Whenever I hear On My Own, I just remember being a little boy, um, and hearing that song everywhere. When that song came out, it just was everywhere. On My Own, child. Why did it end this way? This wasn't how it was supposed to be. Right. On my own, she just let her voice do its thing. She didn't have to be, doing the rest because you at that point, that's when Patty had the crazy hair and Patty would roll on the floor and Patty was doing everything back then. But on my own, she was chill. And that's one of the things that some of her producers talked about when they had Patty go solo. They wanted just to hear because they heard the purity of her voice and they just wanted to be able to listen to have people hear her voice and how great of a voice she had without having to sing all the way up into the stratosphere and without having to do all of those riffs and all of that stuff. They just wanted Patty to be able to just sing. And she did that on my own. And Michael McDonald, who could sing his ass off, did the damn thing too. So that's what I'm on for. Y'all can put some songs that y'all think about in the chat too from the 80s. Um, my next one is Never Too Much by Luther Vandross. Now, my mom loves this song, loves Never Too Much. She loves Never Too Much. Like my mom, Luther Never. I don't think to this day I know every word to Never Too Much because Luther has it's a lot of words and verbiage, a lot of lyrics in the beginning of Never Too Much in the verses and stuff. My mama would sit there and dare you to miss a word and pop you real fast. Don't be messing up my song. Oh, don't be messing up my song. So, I think about my mom when she was real young back then, and she used to come by the house. I didn't live with my mom; I lived with my grandmother. She would come by, and uh, even though this is a white person, she used to play that, and she loved "I'll Keep Holding On" by Simply Red. Child, she ain't play by that. I'll keep holding on. Child. Anyway, but that never too much. She'll come over my grandma's house and just start blasting never too much. And my grandma would be like, "We don't play that in here. We don't play that in here." Child, never too much by Luther. Child, that never too much, honey. She loved that never too much by Luther. My next one is Ain't No Need to Worry by The Winans with Anita Baker. Now, the reason I love this song is Anita Baker. We only could listen to Anita Baker like when we were out of the house or my grandmother had left and or as long as my grandmother was at home, we could listen to secular music or whatever. So I loved Anita Baker. Lived for Anita Baker. And so when Ain't No Need to Worry came out, this was like 87 or 88 or something like that on that Winans album. It mixed the Winans with Anita Baker. So I got the Anita Baker, which is secular, plus the Winans. So I was allowed to listen to it. So we used to play that song in the house over and over and over and over and over. And sometimes we would fool my grandmother because we would because you hear Anita Baker over and over on the song, and so sometimes we can get away with sneaking in an Anita Baker song because we were like, no, this is Anita Baker. Why? That don't sound like that song. No, it is. And so I love being able to sneak and play some Anita Baker because of the and not now don't get it twisted between Anita Baker and Marvin Winans, they sang they ass off on Ain't No Need to Worry. Sang they ass off. But I just love that song. It reminds me of my childhood, having to sneak and listen to secular music, and that was a chance that I got to do that early on. The next one was Michael Jackson, Human Nature. Could not leave out Human Nature. Human Nature for me, and even like my aunts and stuff, they loved Human Nature. I loved Human, like everybody. There was a couple times we snuck and played Human Nature, and my grandmother didn't say nothing because I feel like secretly she liked it too. Because Human Nature was a song that you put on from that Thriller album, and it was so good, so good. It's just chill. He ain't doing all of that stuff that he used to have to do after he didn't have no voice no more. He was just right there in the pocket, just chill. Michael Jackson. The melody was good. The music was good. It was just that. I don't even need to say a whole lot about Human Nature. Okay, I don't even need to say a whole lot. Um, just saying. Yeah. Assuming that that was one song that I think everybody collectively in the household could just listen to and love that song, Human Nature. I love Human Nature is my top two songs of Michael Jackson of all time. Human Nature. Human Nature and Got to Be There. Those are my top two Michael Jackson songs of all time. Just saying. Um my third my I'm on what number? 7? Only because I have aunts. My youngest aunt is probably around Really B's age. I think Really B is right in between my youngest two aunts because they're 2 years apart. And I think Really B is either right with my youngest aunt or right before my youngest aunt. So she will appreciate this. I'm not trying to call you old. But Candy Girl and everything, New Edition. But it was something about Candy Girl. Listen. Oh my God. The amount of times Candy Girl played. We used to go to the pool all the time in the summer. So when we go to the pool, um, we would, walk to the pool. And so they would take the boombox or whatever, and they'd be playing Candy Girl over and over and over. They played Candy Girl at least 8 times on the way to the pool. And so, oh God. Because you can't listen to the radio cut. You gotta listen to the whole full cut of Candy Girl. And with the modulation and all. Yeah, that Candy Girl got everybody. And it reminds me of going to the pool. Um, along with a whole lot of Keith Sweat too. Reminds me of going to the pool. All right. Oh my God. I'm surprised Keith Sweat didn't make this list. The sad part about this list is there's so many songs left out on this list. Like if you ask me to make this list an hour from now, it probably will have 10 totally different songs. Some of the songs might be the same, but the majority of the songs will be totally new songs. Um, Pleasure Principle by Janet Jackson. So that was the first video I remember trying to learn the Janet Jackson like um choreo. I remember I got in trouble for breaking the chair trying to do the Janet Jackson. This was life back then. Young kids have no idea what this is, but if you remember Pleasure Principle, you got to be able to do this, honey. That was life. But I broke a chair and I got beat down. Oh, I got beat down. I got beat with the issues of my life. Oh, I got beat down for breaking that chair. I got beat so bad, but child, it was worth it, honey. I said, "Oh, I'm gonna learn this choreography." Honey. I had to learn all of that. I remember that was the first Janet song I vividly remember saying, I'm learning it." Because most of the time it was way above my level of dancing, but that one I didn't even care. I said, "Oh, bitch, I'm learning this." I remember practicing, so I practiced it over and over and over, over and over and over and over. Mind you, we didn't have cable. So the only time I could see the video was when I went over to my friend's house or went over to my cousin's house. And so I used to go and I would picture in my head certain parts. Like what I used to do was I used to work on like the stuff on the first verse, right? So when I would watch it and I would try to remember it in my head, go home and practice it over and over and over. And then when I went back over whoever times I went over, I would watch it again to make sure I got the moves right. And I didn't let them see it, but I used to be in the back trying to behind them, trying to do all the little moves to myself, making sure, okay, I got that right, I got that wrong, I got that right, I got that wrong. And I just did it like in increments that much. It was a mess, just a whole, it was like a whole, it took me a couple months just to get all that. It was a whole thing. It was a mess. It was a mess. I was a mess as a little boy. Chat. Um, what's up? Wait, Ella say she didn't think she would ever stop hearing what's up. What song? Candy Girl. Um, two more songs. Um, I feel good all over. Baby, I remember but I feel good all over by I can't think of this woman's name. Um Stephanie Mills. There we go, Stephanie Mills. I feel good all over by Stephanie Mills. I could have said never knew love like this before too. But I feel good all I remember this girl we went to school with, she sang I feel good all over. And you couldn't have told I was like, you couldn't have told me that little girl was not at first I thought she was lip syncing or something like that. You could have told me that little girl was not Stephanie, but that little girl sounds so good. She died like when we were in like middle school or something like that, and that was a loss because I remember she was getting signed to like record labels and stuff like that. She was working on app. She ended up dying before everything could come to fruition, but she sang that goddamn I feel good at this little assembly or talent show, whatever we had at the elementary school. I never forget that. I remember when I found out she died when we was in middle school. I was like, oh no, because she was gonna be the one from the neighborhood that was gonna break out and become the, star. That she didn't even met, but that I feel good all over. It was a great song. I just remember it takes me back to that not middle school, elementary school assembly, and it makes me remember elementary school and all my friends and stuff like that from elementary school and how much fun um we used to have. So much, so much fun. My mom was saying, "Don't lean on the front cause she ain't done paying for it." You know what, child? Y'all know what part on that pleasure principle video where she had that chair, child. Um, last one was I remember hearing this song when it was playing. It was outside um listening to this song in the backyard because they didn't want my grandma to hear me. And the last time my uncle passed, and so the last time I saw my uncle, this song was playing. And one of my uncles passed in the 80s. I know my grandma has 16 children. And so um, it was playing the last time I saw him. And when he died, the night we found out he died, I remember it played. That was like one of the first, I don't know if it was the first one, but it was one of the first songs I remember playing right after he died. But I was like, we just heard this when we saw him yesterday. And that was Shirley Murdoch, In Your Eyes. And I love that song, In Your Eyes. Love that song. But that song, In Your Eyes, makes me think about my uncle and how that whole thing went down when he passed or whatever. Back in the 80s. We Are the World makes me think of it too, because they played We Are the World at my uncle's funeral, but it was still In Your Eyes. I really like that song. That's a good slept on Shirley Murdoch song. I really like that song. Baby, in your eye, I see I see love. Child. That was a good song back then. So many songs. So that's my 10. If you ask me in an hour, I'll probably have a different 10. Um, so come up with your own 10. Put it in the comment section um of this video. This is we're on the 80s. Next time we'll be now. That's what's gonna be hard. The 90s is gonna be so hard. I think what I'm gonna do for the 90s is I might choose like each year and pick one song from each year because it's so hard. The 90s got, I mean, oh God, listen. Mariah Carey and Janet alone can have Carey can have 10 songs from the 90s. Janet can have 10 songs from the 90s. What are we talking about? I can have a 10 songs with just 90s groups. Okay. Girl, I don't know how I'm gonna do this for the night. I don't know how, but like I said, it's not your favorite. It's not the best. It's songs that take you back to memorable moments during that decade. So, like a soundtrack. God, there's so many songs. God, I don't know how I'm gonna do this. I have no idea how I'm gonna do this for the 90s. I have no idea. Because the 90s was my decade for real. I was real, I was little in 80, but in the 90s, oh, I knew stuff in the 90s. Then, high school was in the 90s. Dear God. Anyway, um, y'all let me know what y'all think. Let's get some Shondos in the chat before I get out of here. I gotta get out and do some walking, and get up and do some moving, or Really B is gonna kill me. Really B, I'm also gonna try and go in a little bit later. Child. Zap Alley, you don't even want to know. Zap Alley, you do not even want to know what it would take for me to create a 90s one. Okay. It just would take a whole lot. Anyway, but Shondo's in there. Shondo's about it. I hope y'all enjoy. Why is she calling me? I'll call her back. I'm on live on my phone. She's purposely calling me because she knows I'm on live on my phone. Y'all see my side out for it. Anyway, um, that's all I got for y'all today. I made it through. I am here. Really be I am on live. I'm about to get off. You can call me when I get off. Um, as I always Lord. As I always say, I love y'all. I love on y'all. Thank you all for being vocal, present, and active. Thank you for doing what you do. Thank you for just being here with me today. It was a struggle, even just to be on today, but we made it through. And that's why Really B is calling me because she's probably upset that I'm even live today. But I wanted to come on live for y'all. Um, I'm from Miami, so I'm not gonna lie. I'll be biased and say I'm gonna be Team Trina because I'm from Miami. And that's what we do. Um. Anyway, I love y'all. I love on y'all. Thank you all for being vocal, present, and active. Thank you for doing what you do. Thank you all for any and all monetary contributions that you make to the channel. Um, yeah, yeah. I think that's all I got for y'all. Um, until next time. Um, thank y'all for coming. Y'all drive safely. I might do a members only live. Y'all If you see it, look for it. If you don't for it. That's all I got. I'm out.